While I typically go into every Scooby film feeling like I'm probably going to enjoy it, I didn't really have that feeling with Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery. That being said, I liked it more than I expected, but given the fact I don't care about wrestling, I don't really know who a lot of the wrestlers are, it definitely didn't appeal to me, but I can't say that it's a bad film. This was released in 2014. It's directed by Brandon Vietti, written by Michael Ryan, and we have the usual Scooby voice cast and a whole cast of professional wrestlers. The only name that I recognised is John Cena. And the rest of them, I have absolutely no idea. I'd love to know what you think of this, particularly if you're a wrestling fan. Are these really standout names? What did you think of their characters? I cannot give any opinions on that. I can't really give an opinion on John Cena's character either. He voices himself. But certainly there was one name in there that I knew. And actually, that was something that I found to be quite interesting. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Scooby and Shaggy end up going to see the WWE, and while there is, of course, a mystery that needs to be solved. And this is revolving around this ghost bear. It's this huge red bear with a really menacing face. And honestly, I really like the design of it. I actually think it looks pretty brilliant. And I don't want to say too much more than that, of course. I don't want to say what this ghost bear is or why it's going after wrestling. But I'd say it's a well-written mystery, very well developed. Absolutely no complaints there. I did really like the ghost bear as our monster in this episode. I thought it was pretty great. And the wrestling aspect, I think, worked well. This is my amateur opinion, of course, but the character costume designs are great. The actual layout of is it called an auditorium when you're wrestling? Either way, the room where the wrestling took place, it looked really well done. I have absolutely no complaints, but obviously I don't care for wrestling. So there were definitely elements of this that just didn't appeal to me, but that's not the fault of the film. But as I said, I would love to know what you think of the wrestling aspect if you are a wrestling fan. Did they do a good job with it? I'm really keen to find out. And as I mentioned, the John Cena aspect was interesting for me because whenever we hear the characters talking about John Cena, and presumably the other wrestlers, but as I said, John Cena is the only name I knew, it kind of brings us into their world, or brings them into our world, because they're talking about real life people, and it kind of makes it seem more real. And I find that to be really fascinating, and something that I think made it more interesting at times when certain aspects didn't appeal to me, but because they're talking about real life people and mentioning names of real people, it makes it seem more real, and I found that to be quite fun. So that definitely worked well for me, but in general, I'd say I liked the mystery, I liked the ghost bear, I liked the mentioning of John Cena's name because it made it feel more realistic, but the wrestling aspect didn't appeal to me. So in general, I'd say I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, but it's never going to be my favourite. But that being said, there's nothing about it that I would say didn't work very well. It made perfect sense within the narrative, animation absolutely fine, so not too bad at all. There is another wrestling one, and I was concerned that I wouldn't like this and then I'd be dreading the next wrestling one, but I'm not dreading it. I'm not necessarily overly enthusiastic about it, but I'm looking forward to it more than I thought I would be. So we'll see how that one goes. But for now, I'm pleased to say Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery, although it will never be my favourite, I actually liked it more than I thought I was going to.